This week in Caribbean media, we got baby daddy drama. We got baby daddies not being proper baby daddies drama. We got you are not the rascal father drama. And a whole bunch of other stuff. If you want to know what the hell I'm talking about, make sure you watch this video.
Y'all you're pretty like lights in the city. Y'all I want you back it up for Babbzy. One drop. Your waistline moving like evicted family. Back it up for Babbzy, girl, and one drop. Y'all drop, drop. Hey, drop down your body, girl, drop, drop. For Babbzy, drop down your body, girl, drop, drop. Yes, drop down your body, girl, drop, drop. For Babbzy, drop down your body, girl, drop, drop. I take you down to the ground, girl, drop, drop, drop. Take you drop down your body, girl, drop, drop. Drop down your body, girl, drop, drop, drop. Take you drop down your body, stick it and twerk, wiggle and work. Let the bumper go down until it grazes in the air. 'Cause your body ain't stiff like you inside the mark. Walk up on Babbzy like she man getting horn.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Babbzy here. Caribbean music rundown for you. A lot of topics this week, so let's just get into the shiznit, you understand? But before I start, you know you need to follow me on Instagram. My name over there is Strictly Babbzy, as well as on Twitter, on all my social media outlets. My name is Strictly Babbzy, except for Facebook. My name is Babbzy at large. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel right here, because this is my rants and my review channel, because I know you're going to like what I got to say, and you're going to want to follow me for the rest of my life. You know, follow me. You remember that house song? Doom, 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 doom. Topic number 1, DJ Amber versus I-Octane. Well, I-Octane versus the media who's supporting DJ Amber. Now, if you didn't know, DJ Amber is a disc jockey in Jamaica. She has a child with I-Octane. Now, the history of this story is that I-Octane originally had denied the child when DJ Amber came out publicly, letting the entire world know that she's pregnant for I-Octane. I-Octane was kind of like, hell to the no, you sleeping with Movado, you sleeping with all these other motherfuckers, why are you trying to pin me? And I guess they worked everything out, because last week I-Octane put up a picture on his Instagram, which was of the child that him and DJ Amber have together in some sports track and field meet, saying my baby won. So a lot of people have come forward, well, Nightly Fix, namely, first of all, have come forward and they're like, do you think that I-Octane owes DJ Amber a public apology? Now, what I find funny about this situation is that DJ Amber already went to the media stating she does not need a public apology, and she's just happy that her child and I-Octane have a great relationship, which he's been doing since 2012. So what is a public apology for? I have no clue. This is my advice to some of you media people, because let me just be frank. Not everything you're supposed to just jump up on and frolic up on and talk about. It's none of any of y'all business, right? About if I-Octane is apologizing to DJ Amber or not. She's not asking for it, so why are you? Why are you being the spokesperson for her asking for something she didn't ask for? And why are you all beating up on I-Octane when the two of them have obviously resolved their situations? Now, a lot of people were like, well, if you went there and this and that. Let me give you a few examples of women who are pinning the wrong man to be the father of their child. Enter Exhibit A, Tony Matterhorn, who has been bashed in the media recently by his baby mom, saying how he's a deadbeat and he doesn't give enough money. She even went as far as to take him to court. But in America, when you go to court, they're going to DNA test that motherfucker. DNA test come back and the child is not Tony Matterhorn's child. Now, obviously, if Tony Matterhorn was sleeping with her with no condom, he knew enough to say, well, at least I'm going to claim this kid and be like, whatever. You guys leave out a very, very, very important part of the story. The deadbeat women that are pinning shit on the deadbeat men. Because a lot of these women out here don't know who their baby father is. And I'm here to tell you and break some bad news to you. A lot of you calling a man your father is not your dad. I am going to tell you that. And I've seen this situation play out so many times in my life. Up to recently, somebody that I know who's been married for 9 years. Never suspected his wife cheating on him. So happy, painting up the nursery for his kids. So excited for his first child. His mom and his dad go to the hospital the day that his wife gave birth. And they're like, this is not your kid. He's like, fuck is you talking about? This is not your kid. Anyways, he comes home and tells his wife, crazy shit my mom and dad said to me. They said that this kid's not mine and looks nothing like me and is not related to us. And she's like, well, we need to talk. Find out she was fucking on him for 3 years and she breathed for her side man. So now watch this. She's who fucked up. He's the one that's trying to step up to the plate, and she's denying to take a paternity test. She had to be subpoenaed to take one. When they took it, he's not the father, and still trying to bash him in social media. There's a part of this story that a lot of you guys don't seem to think about. A lot of these women are not saints. A lot of these women are out here fucking more than one man. A lot of these women know these guys are not their man. Is it the man's responsibility as well to make sure he's not depositing semen in anybody's crotch? Of course it is. But it seems like a lot of you are ready to let people off the hook. DJ Amber was not I-Octane's girlfriend. She's even stated that. They were dealing, talking. But she didn't like the fact that he slept around. So then you breeded for him. So now everybody's supposed to feel sorry for this chick, maybe not knowing that she was fucking 100 dudes. How about we just stay out the people business and stop passing judgment about who's the paternity of so-and-so's child and this and that? Because a lot of these situations are a lot more sticky than many of you are even willing to admit. So just stay out of it. There's just as much deadbeat gal out our road than there is as deadbeat man. Leave it there. And more in the baby daddy drama world. Spice versus her baby daddy. Again, something that I don't necessarily agree with, but everybody to each their own. You know, she went on Father's Day to put up a post saying that she's the mom and the dad and whatever. I don't know what's transpired between Nicholas and Spice, but the only thing that I will say is that when you guys start going public with a battle and children are involved, there's going to come a time where you're going to have to address those children on what was said. So even in the same I-Octane story, there's gonna come a time where DJ Amber's going to have to be like, well, I was fucking more than one man, which is why he did not want to claim you at first, because that's the reality. So in the situation with Spice and Nicholas, it's like everything you play out, you're going to have to answer to that one day. And you're going to have to answer to, well, you were the one that told daddy not to do this, so why is daddy? I would really try to keep this shit out of the media. Especially in Jamaica, where I would try to keep this shit out of the media. Spice, my advice to you is your career is going extremely well. You're getting in conversations with the Missy Elliott's and the Nicki Minaj's and these people. Keep the shit clean, man. Leave all of that to the wayside and just move forward and focus on your career and leave the petty Betty shit to the petty Betties. You understand what they're telling you? Next drama, which is a very important one that I have to come and talk about. Bunji Garlin versus Trinidad. So anyhow, Bunji Garlin was on Hot 97 recently, and you know, he was asked a few questions about soca, his career, you know, and how come certain artists are not becoming mainstream, etc. And Bunji Garlin basically went on a limb to say, you know, Trinidadians don't support their own. They don't support soca the way that they should, you know, and the way that Jamaicans support reggae and dancehall. Now, I understand what Bunji Garlin is trying to say, which is why I don't understand the backlash. But I understand how people are like, oh, you went and threw Trinidad under the bus in this interview, and you shouldn't be talking about Trinidadians publicly and blah, blah, blah. I think it's time that we just all start being honest about what is going on in our islands when it comes to our music, because a lot of people might feel that, you know, artists are not becoming mainstream because there's a lack of artists. That's not actually the case. It's because there's a lack of support. And in Trinidad, I've seen this with my own eyes, where artists like Penguin have died, and it just kind of mumbles over. And it's like, do you know what Penguin has done for soca and calypso internationally? It was Sweet in the Goat Mouth. Like, hello, but there's no big, huge tribute for him. They don't care. Now, let's analyze what Bunji Garlin said, because part of what he says is not exactly correct, but I do understand what he was trying to say. Now, the other day, Frankie Paul died in Jamaica, and nobody seemed to really care as much as they should have, because why? In Jamaica, these people don't get the love and support that they're supposed to get by Jamaicans either. Jamaica does support dancehall and reggae artists, but they don't support their veterans, and they don't support the trailblazers in the same way that they really support a lot of these newer people that have come in. Now, when it comes to Trinidadian soca artists are basically at the top of the hierarchy when you look at the rest of the Caribbean. So for example, for Crop Over, there's a show coming, Bucket Fest, and Shal Marshall and Sakan Sta are the headliners. Now let's look at Sakan Sta. No disrespect, shade, nothing, but I am sure as I am, that this here come off a child in Malaysia. That Sakan Star is being paid more than almost all the other Bajan entertainers that are going to be on that event. And I will bet you that there are artists on that event that have bigger songs than him internationally and bigger songs than him in Barbados. But because he's Trini alone, he's going to get more respect than a Bajan artist in Barbados. Now, I see this happen all the time, where even at events where you see dancehall artists come in. Do you know how much dancehall artists and reggae artists in Barbados live in a gold mine and they can't perform nowhere in Jamaica? Do you know how much money Norris Man makes when he comes to Barbados? When was the last time anybody in Jamaica has seen Norris Man? But it's a hierarchy. So at the top of the hierarchy is the dancehall Jamaican artist. But in Jamaica, the top of the hierarchy is the R. Kellys and these people that they have deemed as international acts. So now when you go to Trinidad, Jamaica is going to seem a lot more higher in the hierarchy to Trinidadians than Trinidadians. But when you go to Barbados, Trinidadians are higher than Bajans. But then now when Stiffy might go to Montserrat, he's going to get more respect in Montserrat than Culture Don, who Culture Don is probably the biggest artist in Montserrat. So it's just that's how it works. So Bajans don't support Bajan soca. They support Trinidadian soca. They will pay Machel Montano any amount of money he wants. Bungie, they will pay you what you want. But they will bicker and fight with the Jaguars, the Stiffies, you know, the Stabbies, the Marsvilles. These guys have to fight hard to get paid less than what they deserve, and they still have to fight for it. So when it comes to soca, when it comes to music overall, it's just this hierarchy that unfortunately all of us seem to follow. So it's the Justin Biebers at the top, right? And then it's like down and down and down and down and down and down and down. And unfortunately, when it comes to soca, right, soca is supported tremendously by small islanders. So the Bungies and them are adored, loved, and respected in all these other islands. But in Trinidad, they're going to be like, well, he talking about chicken and dumpling, what's wrong with he? You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. And it's just unfortunate. And there are a lot of people who come from St. Kitts, from Antigua, that would be right now pissed with Bajan acts because they get what they want when they come to Antigua. That is actually just how the industry works. It's unfair, but that's how it goes. So I don't understand all the backlash against Bungie. You know, if that's what's happening in his island, that's what's happening in his island. And he feels that Trinidadians don't support soca the way that they should. I somewhat agree with him, you know. And when it's carnival time, it's this big push and soca is everything. But then after that, it's like, get Idonia in, get Conscience in, get, like, that's all they want to see. So I know where Bunji Garlin is coming from with that statement. And I think we just need to look at what we do and what we support as individuals to understand why our music is not as powerful as it could be. We need to take away this hierarchy stuff and just support it for what it is, instead of saying, well, you're a Jamaican artist, so you're bigger than this person, and that's where the problem comes from. So I understand what Bunji Garlin is saying. Don't worry, Bunji, you know I love you. I can always defend you. Lastly, Alkaline versus the Commissioner of Police in Jamaica, George Coelho. Now, this situation has me a little bit motherfucking aggravated, and it's been a low carbs week, so I might Lego some gutter crank boat here. So Alkaline does his music video called After All, and in his music video he has obviously police actors in the video, etc. Now this Commissioner of Police George Coelho has come forward stating how he wants to know if these cars were legitimate in the video, and he wants to know what the violent undertone is about, and he didn't appreciate that, you know, the woman was depicted giving head and this and that. You guys need to calm the fuck down. This is a music video. This is not a depiction of real life. And I feel like these people, like Commissioner of Police George Coelho, you have a lot of other fucking important things to do than to be worried about if the car in Alkaline's video was from your fleet or not. You have a lot more bigger fish to fry. Now, George Coelho, I pull out my phone because I want to deal with your case now, because a lot of you leaders like to fuck around when you have a little bit of leadership. Learn your asshole self and understand what's going on here. This is an article from the Observer last week. 12 shot last night in separate incidents in Kingston, Jamaica. As the murder rate continues to climb above last year's recorded figures, the police have reported that 12 people were shot last night in 3 separate incidents. According to the police, half of the gunshot victims were at a shop in Providence Heights in Coral Gardens, St. James, when gunmen dressed in a black hoodie struck about 8:20 p.m. The 6 people were taken to hospital where 2 men were pronounced dead. The other 4 admitted in stable condition. This deceased has been identified as 20-year-old construction worker O'Neill Gibbs, otherwise known as Eha, and 25-year-old carpenter Tevin Campbell. Both men were residents of the community in which they were killed. Meanwhile, in Kingston, gunmen shot 2 more men who were standing along Metcalf Street, killing one of them about 8:50 p.m. As I go through this article, I don't see your name anywhere about here, Mr. George Coelho, Commissioner of Police. There are people that are actually being killed and murdered where you live. There's not people acting in a friggin' music video. There are actually people being killed. What are you doing about that? Don't really try to come and blame Alkaline for your violence problem. Violence was going on way before motherfucking Alkaline got there. Vybz Kartel's been off the street for how many fucking years? Yet your crime level, murder rate has gone up substantially. Go and address the real problem. Alkaline is not your problem. And you know it's bad when me, I'm not even an Alkaline fan, have to come defend Alkaline. I find it very absurd and obnoxious of many of you to come and want to pin this boy as your scapegoat for the problems that's going on in Jamaica. Go deal with your corrupt politicians that thief people money and can't account for it. Go account for your own constables that go around and bully people and push them around in the road, and leave Alkaline alone. Alkaline has nothing to do with your problems. Stop trying to fucking pin your problems on other people. Look in your own self and look at your own police force and go deal with them. Understand yourself and leave these dancehall artists alone. A lot of times you guys come and pick on them for no reason and want to pin them underneath the fucking, I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know if you have a quota to meet. I don't know if there's some political agenda, but this makes no sense. Alkaline is not the root of your problem. Go find the root and leave the people who have nothing to do with it alone. So that's the rundown for you. Fast and sweet. I'm going to be back soon. I have to go. I have so much to do. I know I have to go give the list of the top rhythms right now for soca. I have to give you the events that are coming up over the next couple of weeks that are going to be going on. We have carnivals going on all over the Caribbean, so I'm going to really be focused on that in one of the videos coming up. So I appreciate the love. I'm glad that you guys checked in with me today. Don't forget to subscribe, because you know this is where I come and rant out the thing. I just rant about here. You understand? Mwah. Love you guys. See you soon.
Girl, you're pretty like in the city. Girl, I want you back it up for Babbzy. One drop. Your waistline moving like evicted family. Back it up for Babbzy, girl, and one drop. Girl, drop. Hey.